whatever it takes to make it, if you actually believe that in your heart of hearts, it means you don't have it. And that's the reason why I'm so compassionate to so many people, that other people think, why are you being nice to that guy? He's such an a-hole. And I'm like, because at one point in a previous life, I was that guy. I was that a-hole. And that's how I can recognize it. So if you can't see God in everyone, then you cannot see God at all, because we're all created by God. Now, I know somebody's going to ask me, you're talking about Buddhism and God. What are you talking? Technically, it's not a religion. It's a way of life. It's a way of measuring where you are with the is not a religion. I'm going to say it 3 times. Buddhism technically is not a religion. It's a measurement of where you are in relationship to the true nature of reality. It's a measurement of where you are in relationship to the true nature of reality. So, am I angry? Am I fearful? Am I sad? Am I lonely? Do I feel abandoned? Give up your beliefs in relationship to God. Buddhism is not a religion. It's a way of life. It's a way of practicing how to live higher, how to be a higher being, how to express a higher love. So when I talk about doing an emotional enema, that is a Buddhist practice. And when I talk about acu-tapping, it's an actual Chinese medicine psychiatry practice to break the neural patterns of addiction to pain and suffering. If my father abused me and I'm angry at my father, and I go my whole life hating my father, and then my father dies, does my anger go away? Absolutely not. So now I'm going to take that anger and I'm going to express that anger towards someone else or something else. So what we have to do in our acu-tapping is become a waving method to release that anger, that frustration, that resentment, that shame, that blame, that guilt, all those things that we hold inside of our bodies. And we use that to get it out of our brains. That is part of having. Buddhism is not a religion. So how do you measure where you are in relationship to the true nature of reality? Well, number one, you cannot make sense out of nonsense. The only thing you know is what your environment provides for you. The only thing you know is your family dynamic until you shift to your environment. And until you leave that environment and go to a completely different environment, you can't know anything else. So the only thing we know is what we know. You can't know what you don't know. And what we don't know would fill 10,000 encyclopedias and 10 million libraries on 10 million planets. What we know is less than a millionth of 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 a millionth. That's 9 millionths. That's what we don't know, or that's what we do know. Less than that. So the Buddhists say, why are we talking about God when we cannot know the definition? We cannot agree on a definition of God, but we do know the human body. So let's study the body. That's the one thing we do know. And if we can all agree that God created us, then let's study the creation. And maybe we get a little window into the true nature of reality. So, emotional enema.
But somebody asked, how do you deal with anger?
Ah, that's an excellent
Please repeat the
question.
question.
Somebody asked, how do you deal with anger? Well, the first thing is you have to acknowledge that you are angry. The second thing, you have to mirror. You could get a pillow and a belt, and you could beat the pillow. You could get dress. You could get a dress dummy and a plastic bat that you can get the anger out of your body. But you have to express anger, and then you can say, am I angry at them or am I angry at me? Am I angry at the situation or am I angry at myself for creating the situation? Am I angry at my parent for what my perception was of how they treated me? Or am I a lot of stuff to go around? And then when you can be clear about what you are actually angry about, is it me or them or is it both? Once you own your part of it, then you can express compassion towards yourself by letting it go. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. So being angry is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Being angry is like setting your house on fire, expecting their house to burn down. So anger doesn't solve anything. So anger must be first transformed into compassion for you. Give yourself compassion. Then try to extend that compassion to that into action. So we transform anger into compassion and then compassion into action. The liver is damaged by anger, and the liver likes love. The liver craves love. The heart wants peace, but the liver wants love. So I love my daughter, and my daughter won't do what I want her to do. So I express anger at addiction. That's crazy. And all parents get angry at their kids for that very reason. And all kids get angry at their parents for that very reason. You won't do what I want you to do, so I'm going to. Wow, we would shift everything. We would shift everything. And that's all I want for you is to shift your anger into compassion and shift into love.
Evan Raver asks, how does healing work in the body?
Wow, that is a big question. That's like an encyclopedic answer. How does healing work in the body? Okay, I'm going to give you the 30-second answer. I don't know if that'll satisfy you, Evan, but okay. So, the premise of Chinese medicine is based on the circulation of electromagnetically charged blood. Anything that interferes with that flow of blood and oxygenated blood will eventually cause disruption, stagnation, inflammation, and disease. So, to answer your question, is how do you create healing? You have to get rid. There's food, there's herbs, there's heat, there's pressure, there's sound, there's light, there's magnets, electricity, there's scraping and suction. And all of that creates healing in the body. Are there other methods? Of course there are. But that's the simplest answer I could give you.
And Eileen says she's going to cleanse the liver.
She's going to clean the liver.
Clean the liver.
Now, that's another excellent question. Okay. Does your liver need to be cleansed, or does it need to be detoxified? Or do you just want to have a free and clear liver? What is it that you want for your liver? So the liver controls the muscles and the tendons. The liver stores the blood. Now, if your muscles are tense and tight, what happens to the blood? It cannot flow. So we need to have the muscles relaxed. So we contract, we expand, we contract, we expand. So the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments have to be able to relax. Now, how do we clean the liver with Qigong, or just how do we clean the liver?
This thing would just cleanse the liver with qigong.
With Qigong, okay. Then you have to move. You've got to move the body. So if you register for the online class, this morning I went through a detailed exercise called the liver dance. And there's 3 parts. One deals with, so get the love that we think we deserve, then we create drama. So the liver dance is the thing I'm going to recommend for Qigong to cleanse. Webinar, free, emotional enema. We're going to go through all the aspects of the emotional enema in the webinar. Number 2, podcast every day, 11 to 11:20. Tune in on Spotify, iTunes, Radio Play. There's one more. Facebook, Instagram. Oh, Anchor FM, anchor.fm/Ask Dr. Love. So that's the podcast. And then the webinars are free every Friday night. But if you want access to the replay or the previous podcast, you have to go to patreon.com/DRQILOVE, Dr. Chi Love. And you will not regret it, because I'm putting health work to increase blood flow to the brain. You should learn how to think better, increase mental intention, focus, and will. So loveqigong.com to get the online Qigong classes Monday through Friday. Patreon.com/Dr. Chi Love for the health literacy. And you're already on the podcast. And we're gonna, starting Monday, a week from today, the newsletter will be out. The Blue Dragon World Qigong newsletter is going to come out every day, and that will be free. So remember, your health is in your hands. Signing off. Thanks to the holistic motivator in the entire Blue Dragon tribe. Until tomorrow. Medical question, and we are doing telemedicine these days. So if you call the telephone number 561-502-6200 and schedule an online consultation, it's only $50 for 30 minutes, and we can give you all the advice you need personally.
And the last question is, when is the best to take ashwagandha to relax emotions?
Okay, ashwagandha is also known as Indian ginseng. It's an Ayurvedic herb. Ashwagandha is an immunogen, an adaptogen, and it helps with stress. It helps with restoring energy when you're low, okay? I would not use it to balance emotions. So that would be not the proper use of ashwagandha.
All right, so that's it.
That's it.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Schedule your live for Dr. George Xavier Love, or find him Dr. George Love Oriental Medicine Facebook page. Thank you for watching.